to other markets now. We see it's red on the screen for the crypto market. Ethereum, $2,431. Bitcoin, 0.68% down. And BNB managed to stay in the green. And a couple of altcoins still in the red. Let's look at the sentiment now, how traders are feeling in this market. We know it's neutral, but getting closer to fear. That was yesterday. So sentiment is still neutral at this point. Then to some headlines now. HBO, their documentary on money, that's called Money Lecture, the Bitcoin Mystery. They identified a guy called Peter Todd as Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator. We know Satoshi Nakamoto is supposed to be the creator of Bitcoin, but now they're naming this 39-year-old Canadian who's known for his long-time contribution as a Bitcoin core developer. Now we see Justice Sun has received about 3.62 million of Eigen token, recently listed on Binance and major exchanges. So he's gotten this big amount and he sent all of that to Binance. What's he going to do with that? Is he going to sell it? We'll definitely find out. Then we see Brazil. They have a real pegged stable coin at this point. They're exploring this whole stable coin market. This one's going to be pegged to their currency this time. So all eyes on what's happening with stable coins in the global market. But let's bring in my guest now. Let's bring in Adebayo. Adebayo is co-founder ICP.hub Sahara. Great to have you.
Great to be here once again, Ladi. Thank you for having me.
Right. So very interesting story with who they claim is the developer of Bitcoin, who made Bitcoin. We've always heard it's Satoshi Nakamoto. Nobody knows who he is. But is it possible that the creator of Bitcoin is among us?
Yeah, I mean, there has been a couple of conversations revolving around this. Remember, it's just one person, probably a group of people. But then this particular story has been put to bed for quite a while now, believing that the person no longer exists since the wallet has been inactive. But then a couple of wallets associated with the genesis of Bitcoin itself has been recently seen to be active. But should in case that this same person claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto or a group of people are still there, well, there's going to be some serious bounce back on the market prices because then there will be lack of trust. People will be afraid because Satoshi himself is said to be owning, at least in his in their own portfolio, at least 1 billion Bitcoin in terms of the token itself. So then what happens if such a person is still there? What happens to the market? How would this 1 billion worth of Bitcoin be liquidated in the market? So there's going to be some sort of a serious bounce back on the market itself, if this is said to be, and if this is true anyway.
Right, but it can't be this Todd guy that they represented in documentary, right?
So sorry, come again.
Could it be the guy they mentioned? That's Todd. They said he's the creator. Could it be him in the HBO documentary?
Absolutely not. I mean, a lot of people have actually claimed that they are Satoshi Nakamoto, but then the only way to prove that they are who they say they are is to facilitate the transaction from the Genesis wallet itself. I mean, from the wallet claimed to be owned by Satoshi Nakamoto. A majority of them do not have access. So how can you claim you're somebody without having the identity to prove that indeed you are Satoshi Nakamoto? Craig Wright said he was, then eventually declined that he is, because when the government were bouncing on him, so he eventually said he wasn't Satoshi Nakamoto. So a lot of people would claim that they are, but none of them are actually.
Right, or maybe it could be you. Could you be Satoshi? Maybe. No?
I mean, we are all Satoshi. Let's put it that way. You are Satoshi, I am Satoshi.
Right, but we're seeing the role of stable coins now growing. A couple of countries exploring, pegging their currency with a stable coin, that will operate on the blockchain. So, looking at Africa now, do you think the stable coins have a role to play, in Africa's financial system?
Yeah, absolutely. Both positive and negative, by the way, because the government recently have been, if you notice, they've been clamping down on most of the exchanges that are sort of promoting the transaction of stable coins like USDT, USDC, and so on and so forth, saying that it's actually having a negative effect on Naira devaluation, enabling Naira to be further devaluated because of market speculators in the stablecoin industry. But then on the positive aspect, it's actually facilitated a lot of things, like cross-border payments instantly, enabling people to be able to have a store of value Because as the naira further devaluates, I mean, how easy is it to get dollar within the bank or probably from the bureau de change? It's actually quite difficult. But stablecoin purchase is actually very, very straightforward and fast. It's something you can purchase under a couple of seconds to a few minutes. And it enables people to be able to have a true store of value as naira to dollar continues to devaluate. And also it makes it possible for people within Africa or even Nigeria to accept payments from foreign countries easily without all those huge amounts of charges being levied on by the banks and so on and so forth. So it sort of provides a lot of opportunities for people within Africa or even outside of Africa willing to transact with people in Africa, such that the banking system that we have today doesn't provide the sort of transparency or ease of transactions that is required in the modern business days. So stablecoin is, of course, good. We're looking at the economic situation of the country and how people are actually fleeing away with capitals and so on. So on the government side, this might not really be a good thing.
All right. Well, for me, it just feels like if the naira strengthens, most of our issues might actually just, go away, at this point. But, definitely I'm up for anything that strengthens the naira, at this point. Thank you so much for coming on. Adebayo Adebajo is a co-founder, ICP.Hub Sahara. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again, Ladi.